Hi, it's What the Shelley. I'm going to be addressing the Israeli Palestinian issue. And I'm going to piss people off from both sides, but I don't care because I'm going to keep it real. I want to start off by saying my daughter, my son, and I have Palestinian friends over the years, and that has not changed. My daughter had one childhood friend who has taken to the airwaves and telling people that he wants death to my daughter, my son, my husband, and me because we're Jews. And he also hopes that we get gassed, just like what happened during the Holocaust, which is kind of interesting because a lot of people like him deny that the Holocaust happened. So I guess now when it's convenient, I guess it did happen and hopes that we get gassed. Then on the other, but I want to say something. Most of my daughter's Palestinian friends, they're having dialogue. See, that's what you have to do. You have to have a dialogue. You cannot wish death on people. There has to be a dialogue going. So the good news is she is dialoguing with a lot of her friends. And also a lot of her Muslim friends, they're having open dialogue. Now, on the other side, we have these super right wing Orthodox Jews who not only are wreaking havoc in Israel, but they wreak havoc all over. They're the ones you see who ignore the COVID stuff, don't trust government, yet the ones living in Israel, a lot of them are anti-Zionist because they don't really think Israel should exist, even though they're taking all the frickin' land that they want. They a lot of them, I'm sorry, I'm going to piss some people off. A lot of these ultra right wing Orthodox Jews, all they do is they pray all day at the government's expense. A lot of them don't serve in the army. They don't do shit, quite honestly, but make trouble. And there's no excuse. A lot of them are racist. And I'm trying to explain to people that they would spit on me because I would be an unacceptable Jew in their eyes. They would spit on even modern Orthodox Jews who are very religious, but then they're not religious enough. So they don't only spit on Palestinians, Arabs, they spit on people like me. Okay? So you got that going on there. And I don't really see what they do for the Israeli population. I don't see what they do for the country, but start trouble and then ask for assistance from the government when all of a sudden, the Arabs or the Palestinians fight back on them. So you got that issue. Okay? Now, I am going to circle back to the Palestinians in a second, but you got a failure of leadership here. Benjamin Netanyahu, who I used to like 25 years ago, he needs to go. He is like the slicker version of Trump. He's more intelligent, he's better looking, and he can also articulate things better. But he's a crook, he's a racist, and he needs to go. He is also beholden to the ultra right wing Orthodox Jews. Why? I don't know. They are not the majority in Israel. He needs to go. This war is perfect for him because when you're at war and he goes, I'm going to protect my people, right? Well, now they're not thinking about getting his ass out, right? Okay. And one other thing I want to address some Jews who say, "Oh, why doesn't President Biden never should have released the money to the Palestinians?" Well, you know what? If you're gonna disrespect President Biden, I want you in 2012. Which administration was it that helped Israel get the Iron Dome? That's protecting them from the rockets. That was the Obama Biden administration. Thank you. You should send President Obama a thank you note. And again, thank you, my friend Beth, for reminding me of that little fact. All right, we got that. Now, we also have failure of leadership for the Palestinians. The Palestinian Authority is so corrupt. Let's go back to even before that, with when Yasser Arafat had the PLO. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. Well, that was supposed to go to help the Palestinian people. He pocketed the money. His wife, even now, his widow, is living in Paris in the lap of luxury off of that money that was supposed to go to the Palestinians. Then now you get the Palestinian Authority who came in. The current leadership was only supposed to be in for 4 years, and I believe it's now 12 years, maybe 16 years. Who the hell knows? They do nothing for their people. They're corrupt as shit. Then you have Gaza, which is ruled by Hamas, which is a terrorist organization. And yes, they are terrorists. They basically rule with an iron fist. And if any Palestinians in Gaza want to actually maybe work with Israelis, whatever, it doesn't end well for them. So the people are in poverty there. Now remember, Gaza was given back to the Palestinians when Israel basically removed all their settlers from there, and it was really not a pretty sight, but I agree with it at the time. And they were left with beautiful greenhouses and all of this. And Hamas came in, leveled everything. Well, that would have been a source of income for the Palestinians. So thank you, Hamas. Anyway, the people in Gaza were really getting pissed off with Hamas, as the people in the West Bank were getting pissed off with the Palestinian Authority. Well, now, isn't it convenient now? They're all at war, just like Netanyahu's like saying, thank you, I got this little gift. I'm going to war. No one's going to kick me out. Well, Hamas is sitting pretty right now. They're very happy. They're happy. So, at the expense of their people. So, leadership has failed the Israelis, and leadership has failed the Palestinians. And it sucks. And also, Hamas, because they're so brave and everything, they basically put all their people, their fighters, everything, they mix them in with the women, the children, the regular civilians. And so when Israel attacks them, they're like, oh, look at what they did. They were targeting whatever. The whole thing sucks. And I really want to say that the only way this is going to be solved if the leadership from both, Palestinian Authority, Hamas, and Netanyahu, and those right-wing, ultra right-wing Orthodox Jews, if they all just get stripped of their powers, all right, and there has to be some economic help and cooperation. Nobody getting blown up or anything, my family, my sister-in-law's niece was blown up. I believe it was in the late 90s, early 2000s. And, it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. And I want to talk to, people who are not Jews or Muslims. I think a lot of you are kind of naive and stupid. And I'm going to kind of quote my daughter. If you don't have a dog in this fight and you're just quoting some meme that you saw, I think you need to shut the fuck up. All right? Shut the fuck up. You do not know what you're talking about. I would rather sit with a Palestinian and talk it out than talk with some moron that knows nothing about what has happened. You know, I lost a friend in high school because during the Yom Kippur War in 1973, both my sisters were living in Israel, and I was very nice to this guy, and he was like, started to spew, oh, I'm for the Arabs all the way. I hope they push the Jews back into the ocean. And I said to him, my sisters are there right now, and he didn't care. So that was the end of the friendship for me. Years later, when I told somebody who actually was my employee that my sister-in-law's niece was blown up recently, do you know he laughed, he smiled, he thought it was really funny? And again, this is somewhat he's just listening to whatever skewed memes and this and that. Really, people need to shut the hell up. If you do not really know what's going on there, shut the hell up. I will dialogue with my Muslim brothers and sisters any day of the week, but I will not have an ignorant conversation with somebody who knows nothing about what they're talking about. Okay? Jews and Muslims have to dialogue, and a lot of us do. And this is not a new thing. Whenever there's a war, and this happened in the 67 war, in the Yom Kippur war, I remember all the anti-Jewish people came out of the woodwork because they thought Israel was going to be destroyed. Okay? I want you to know that it's not so simple when you start talking about land. Jews, if this is the case, then we need to get back all the land in the Middle East, because my people were kicked out of all the Arab neighbors, all the neighboring countries. We were either slaughtered or told to get the hell out. So they went to Israel. Okay? So if you're going to play that little game, then there needs to be reparations for all the Jews who were expelled. You want to go even farther? How about the Jews that were expelled from Spain, Portugal? Let's go back. Let's keep on going back, all the Jews that were expelled or murdered, okay? So, in closing, the Israeli leadership has got to go. They suck. In closing, the Palestinian leadership has got to go. They suck. I do not want to see dead Palestinians, and I do not want to see dead Israelis. Enough. Enough. Dayenu. Dayenu. Enough. Ganug. It's done. That's my PSA this week. Please, don't be ignorant. Read. Read. Get some history. Bye.